G'day, welcome one and all to another episode of Guvs Heroes Impression and Review videos. This one focusing in on the hero Pantera. Now Pantera is the blue panther hero from the Savage Crew family and is as a result a limited availability hero, available only during the Grand Heist Challenge Event portal. Pantera is a 5-star blue hero. He has the title of being the Silent Persuader. And he has been in the game for quite a long time. He is an OG release challenge event hero back when Grand Heist was first added into the game, probably 3, 4, 5 years ago now. His artwork does feature the iconic, I don't want to do that, the iconic Savage Crew animalistic mask, which gives inspiration both to their artwork, their name, and their special skill, as well as naturally hiding this shady crew of Savage Crew robbers, hiding their identity from the cops. Now, Pantera's mask is in the imitation of a panther, but based on his weapons, the knuckle dusters and that baseball bat, I would argue that there is probably not a whole lot that is silent about his persuasion techniques. Just me personally. Heading back over to the card, I'm just going to jump back in the portal because it doesn't have emblems and stuff on it. Pantera's stats are quite... I'll skip ahead. He is a member of the Savage Crew family. I'm skipping ahead of myself a little bit. So as a result of being part of the Savage Crew family, there is a 10% chance to trigger Wild Heist effect whenever Pantera uses his special skill. So this effect will cause all allies to steal 20% charge from the enemies, which is just... that's just amazing. I love it. Whenever it charges and fires, it is just so satisfying to see. There is also an inherent stat bonus for having multiple unique heroes of the Savage Crew family. So if you have 2, 3, 4, or 5 unique heroes, then you will get a 2, 4, 6, or 8% attack bonus to those heroes. So if you bring along Pantera and Night Owl, that's 2 unique heroes from the Savage Crew family, so that will grant them both a 2% attack bonus. If you bring along 2 Pantera, not unique, doesn't trigger that inherent stat bonus. So, as I started on, Pantera's stats are quite low in terms of their total stats. You can see he comes in at just 683 power, and this is mostly as a result of being a victim of age and power creep. The stats themselves, they are still good. That attack stat is still pretty competitive in the current gameplay, but there is quite a detriment to that defense and HP stat. So he comes in at 779 attack stat, 590 defense, and 1365 HP. So as I said, very skewed towards that attack stat, which, when we get into his special skill and see that he's a sniper and a damage dealer, that does make sense. That works for him. Class-wise, he is part of the Assault class, which gives him the chance to wound an enemy, applying 60% of the damage done by normal damage, i.e. tiles or slash attacks, over the next 5 turns. The brilliant thing about the wound talent is that it does stack indefinitely and infinitely with itself. So you can have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20, 30, 40 counts of the wound effect stacked on top of each other. It also counts as bleed damage, so it can be used to trigger the bleed burst from heroes like Aquani, so that's also really cool. In terms of his emblem path, I personally have emblemed my Pantera because I did use him a fair bit, and I would recommend going the attack path on him. So you can see here, there's not actually any points where you have to choose between 2 sides of the branch which both have attack. Attack is only ever on one side. So you can see I sort of followed the attack the whole way down. The only exception to that is here where there's just a static attack and a 3% attack bonus. So I took the 3% because it's better than the static. So otherwise, we just follow the attack path whole way down the tree. I stopped mine at plus 15 because that's where the bleed stops, or the wound effect stops going up, and everything after that is just stats. Heading back to his card, because I am a little bit out of order, but that's okay. He does have a charge speed of 50, which is average. Now, this 50 charge speed will require 10 tiles to charge or 5 ghosted tiles. You can get that down to 9 tiles with a +8 weapon, which is possible with the Ice Breath Saw weapon, which gives +9. You can do it a little bit lower, I think a +7 weapon if you also pick up the 2% speed node, but realistically you're paying 125 emblems and still going to be using the same weapon anyway, so there's not really any benefit to doing that. Down to his special skill. His special skill is titled Jawbreaker Swing, and at level 10 and a charge speed of 50 will deal 290% damage to the target and deal an additional 70% damage, so that's 360% total, if the target has armor. The target also will receive plus 30% damage for 3 turns when hit by a stronger element, and it will also remove all buffs from all enemies. So breaking that down a little bit, looking just at that direct damage element, it's reasonable. I mean, if you factor in the fact that Pantera is really old, like he's one of the oldest heroes in the game, it's actually still very good. The percentage itself, the 290%, that's quite low, but his base stat of 779 is extremely high even currently. So that sort of brings him up. So if we look at his attack power, now attack power is a metric I use to compare direct damage, so that is a multiplication of the attack stat by the percent listed in the special skill. So 290% of 779 results in attack power of 2,259. If you divide that by the 10 tiles retired to charge, that comes out at 226 attack power per tile. For comparison, there's about 14 other blue snipers in the game at the moment. So if we look at a couple, and the best one is 0 Point at maximum damage output, that's 511 attack power. Pantera's was 226, remember? You've also got Variant Lillian at 456. Visor with the bonus damage is 364. Thunderclap comes in at 251. Some other interesting ones, you've also got Brutus 302, Shocker 268, Variant Face Off, fairly new, also Utterly Trash 133 is his attack power per tile. So overall, with Pantera coming in at that 226, he does rank as number 8. If we add in the bonus damage, and I am just going to quickly calculate this because I didn't do it before. He does jump up to 280, so he comes in at about jumps up probably 2 or 3 slots. But yeah, not a huge improvement, but I mean, bonus damage is bonus damage. So yeah, overall, as I said, Pantera with his base damage comes in at number 8 of the 14 blue sniping options, so fairly middle fiddle. A little bit more if you get the bonus damage against armor, but not a huge amount. Where Pantera really shines though is in the second and third lines of his special skill. So the second line reads that the target receives 30% additional damage, or plus 30% damage for 3 turns when hit by a stronger element. Now, this is really, really powerful in a stacking situation. So in the case of Pantera, he's blue, so blue is strong against red. So this means if you target a red hero with Pantera's ability, any blue tiles that then hit that red hero will deal 30% more damage. So as I said, really strong in a stacking situation, also very good for doing a 1-2 punch of, say, Pantera and another sniper like Thunderclap maybe, just to go bang bang, dead, hero gone. It's also really powerful in War Machine situations, because if you're thinking about your War Machine attack, if you're going against a red War Machine, you're going to stack a lot of blue heroes. You're going to bring a lot of blue tile damage. So this bonus 30% is just straight up 30% more damage output against that red War Machine. That's pretty awesome. The other really beneficial thing about this effect is it's not treated as a defense down debuff. So it's not replacing or replaced by defense down or elemental defense down. It actually acts as an additional debuff to those other ones. So it stacks multiplicatively with all of those other effects, which is really, really powerful. Unfortunately, it's not quite a large enough percentage to warrant bringing Pantera to every single War Machine in the place of another strong colored hero. So generally speaking, for that to be the case, you need about 30 or 40% in terms of the debuff percentage. So 30%, it's not quite there to sub someone out. So say bringing Pantera along to a green War Machine. but in a stacking situation where you're already bringing blue tiles, man, it's just awesome. It's also a very good substitute for Variant Lillian, who's the only hero in blue that does elemental defense down against for blue. So also a decent substitute in that regard. The final line, though, for me is what makes Pantera most versatile on attack, which is the Dispel from all enemies. Now, there's actually very, very few heroes in the game who will dispel all buffs from all enemies without first having to actually physically hit all of those enemies. So in this instance, Pantera can be used to dispel nasty effects from heroes such as counterattack, like, you know, looking at you or Yumi, without actually having to hit the counterattack first. So if you think about a Yumi in a defensive situation, she's normally in the tank position. So the tank and the two flanks will get counterattack. With Pantera, you can target one of the two wing heroes that don't have counterattack and dispel the full counterattack from all of those heroes without actually taking counterattack damage. So that makes this effect actually really powerful. It's also very good for removing other defensive buffs, taunt, and all of those kind of things. So it's actually a very, very versatile skill, because pretty much all other instances where you have to remove or debuff the entire team, you are hitting the entire team. There's not really many other heroes that do this skill. So overall, I do like Pantera for attacking situations. Definitely not a defensive hero, not in the slightest because of this defense and that HP stat, but he is a fantastic addition to your attack team against red war machines, and you can get away with most of his benefits simply by leveling him up to 480. So not taking him to all 5 stars, just taking him to 4-80. And that will get you most of the benefit and still allow you to save those night vision goggles for other heroes. So the other thing with Pantera is, unlike most of the original release event heroes, Pantera actually still does have his uses. He has aged reasonably well, in my honest opinion. So for Pantera's grading, I do rate him quite highly, personally. So I do rate him a B on attack, a B+ on war machines. Defense, probably a D. He does drop off quite a lot on defense. Events, probably a C, C+ kind of range. He doesn't actually have a huge amount of event use because he is a single target only. Bloody Battle, no real change, so a B and a D on attack and defense. Charged attack, again, there's not really much speed change to him, so again, a B and a D. Buff boosting, he goes up to an A grade for me on attack just because he dispels all of those buffs. And on defense, still a D, just because he is so flimsy from defense. So overall, that comes out probably around an overall grade of being a B for attack and a D for defense. So that concludes the content I have for this review of Pantera. As always, this is just my personal opinion. I do love hearing your thoughts and your feedback about these heroes, some of their synergies, the uses you have for them, and your thoughts on them. So please do hop on down into the comments of this video, drop me a note, tell me your thoughts. I do love reading them. If you did enjoy the video and found it useful, please do go and pop a like on the video, comment on it, subscribe to the channel, and of course share it around with your Alliance members, because if it's useful to you, it's probably going to be useful to other people as well. So thanks once again for tuning in and joining me for the review. Good luck with your gameplay and happy gaming as well. Cheers, bye.